BRB. Needed to close my door. Hello. That wink was not intentional. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Epic Mind. Welcome. Hey, mister. Oh, wow. A lot of people are here. Well, no need to delay any longer. Let us go. We are almost at the trial. I think there's just one more thing we need to do. Okay. We are going to move to the agency. Again, go to the detention center. Because we got some shoes and a report we need to show this guy. Don't cry, Angel. Daddy's back, and Daddy's... Oh, you again. Do you always have to announce your entrances like that? Man, my old man, Man. Now I'm all in a funk, and it's his fault. One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson, and failed, clearly. You two got your work cut out for you, straight up. Of course I don't care if they lock me up, I'm ready to go. Some days I wonder why I do what I do. Okay, we are presenting you, this. Oh, no, hold on. Wrong controls. Huh? What's that? Some kind of x-ray? Wait. That's right, Walkie. It's yours. Hey, look, I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long, right? I don't think he gets it, Apollo. Take a closer look here. Take a closer look. Here in particular. Where it says nurse. It's signed Alita Tiala. Huh? You lawyers do your homework. So, you met Miss Tiala when you... Yeah, I met her at the clinic. So? Could you tell us a bit about the circumstances of your meeting? Fine, fine. I'll tell you how we met if you want to know that bad. About half a year ago, I was shot during a little turf war with another family. I was ready to die, sure. But they came in and got me, hauled me off to the docks. The Maractus Clinic? That's where I met her, my fallen angel. You mean Alita Tiala? She was scared of me at first, turns out. But you know what they say, the bad guy always gets the ladies. Right. She was done with that clinic anyhow. So I was like, I'll take you on, woman. Straight gangsta style. Guess what she said? What did she say? Come on, give it some thought. She said it really quiet like on the lowdown, you know what I'm saying? I'll leave if you'll marry me. What? Sluggies! Hi! Hi! How you doing? Oh, thank you for the hydrate. And the stretch. Hydrate time. Stretch. Ugh. Yeah, this is sus. A girl says, I'll leave this clinic if you marry me. That's very sus. So that was the proposal? You know it. An oath of love right there in the hospital room. Okay. Walkie. Let me see if I got this correctly. You were shot in the heart. And your nurse said, I'll leave this clinic if you marry me. Within the span of a few days. Yeah, something that's sketchy. just like that, the op was done and we were out of there. See you later. Bye. About that op. Yeah, didn't go so well after all, did it? I know about the report. I know it's still in me. Health checkup. This health checkup was the boss's idea, you said. Yeah, can you imagine? What's the point of living healthy when you're a G, you know what I'm saying? But didn't you learn about that bullet at that checkup? Yeah, that's when I knew that doctor had to pay. Figured I could get that cap pulled off after I got my revenge. And hey, I'm still living large now, aren't I? Incidentally, have you ever had a health checkup before? Nah, my old man suddenly gets this idea that we all gotta get health checkups. Guess he's getting old. Older, I mean. Okay, guilty verdict. Hey man, you won't see me bugging about 1 or 2 guilty charges. But what if you're found guilty of murder? Hey, it's all experience, you feel me, shorty? Like a badge of honor. They don't give the death penalty, do they? You didn't really do it, did you? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If I learned one thing today, it's that silence speaks louder than words. Your father... Man, my old man is whack. Disappointed is what he is. I heard he wants to leave the mob. Over my dead body. I spent my life trying to keep it real, being an OG and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft? Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it. The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kataki family. Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail, for my sake. Okay, next thing to present to you are the shoes. Waki, you don't happen to recognize these, do you? Hey, sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her. For Miss Tiala? Yeah, birthday present. She's got mad little feet. Mad. So cute, man. So these sandals are hers. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. What's up with the funky vibes? Okay. Man, that is so far off the hook, it's off the chain, G. He seems preoccupied with something else. Wonder how my Alita's doing, man. He reminds you of Naruto. Is it the marks on the cheek? That makes sense. Man, I miss her. Okay. Let's go see Emma. Let's go see Emma. People Park. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Hold on. Well, if the prints on these slippers and these sandals match, which they do, it means that the same person was wearing them. You know, I thought that's what it might mean. Science is amazing. Yeah, his personality too, I guess. It is, isn't it? I've never felt so alive. I don't know about science, but this is a major lead. Okay. Move. Can we go to the hospital now? We need to talk to Phoenix. Ah! What else do I have to do? What else do I have to show you? Okay. Yeah, what do I do? Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so... Apollo, Justice, yeah, case 2, day 2 investigation. Okay. Dune's house. Night of the crime. Sky, new kit. Okay, I've already done all this. Move inside the Maractus clinic. Same with the slipper rack. Check the sandals. Same with the door on the left side of the screen. Office. Rocky's chart. Okay. Okay. Hickfield Clinic. But I did this! Oh, I already did that. Present the sandals. Oh, I have to go to Eldune's house. Okay. Okay, Eldune's house. Oh, wrong thing. Eldune's house. Oh wait, no, I didn't need to turn on auto. Okay, there we go. Mr. Eldune, we've been looking all over for you. What's the matter, Trucy doll? Apollo, show him what we found. Nothing like expert advice. I suppose he is a doctor still. Mr. Eldune, is everything okay? I'm just so happy. I thought that my doctor days were gone for good. Mr. Eldune. Okay, Walkie's chart. Mr. Eldune, could you take a look at this? A medical chart. Hey, you shouldn't go around taking these from clinics. Why the sudden silence, Mr. Eldune? What's going on here? That's what we want to know. That chart belongs to my client. He's on trial on suspicion of murder. On trial? That's crazy. You can't put him on trial. He's ABD. What? ABD? All but dead. He's knocking on the pearly gates and someone's about to answer. Can you tell us why? Oh, that was a hat. I thought so. Damn, he looks more like a doctor with that hat off. Well, permit me to speak as a surgeon. You listen up good now, son. No way. It's like he's a completely different person. Yeah, honestly. Well, according to this chart, this walkie-talkie feller's not doing so well. He's got a bullet right upside his heart. That's right. Yeah, but this chart talks about the post-op. In other words, the operation is already finished. But you can still see that bullet stuck in there. Why would it still be in there after the operation to remove it? Well, but the only reason I could think of is it was too tricky to operate on. What? That bullet snug as a bug there next to the aorta, which is connected to the heart. Heck, that scrap of metal's just surrounded by blood vessels. Kind of a miracle. 2 millimeters to either side and there'd be some serious bleeding going on there. Not something your average doctor'd be eager to fiddle with. You mean? It took a miracle to get that bullet stuck where it is. I'd take more than a miracle to take it out. It'd take a magician. I'm only up to making rabbits disappear. I haven't learned bullets yet. Of course, with the heart pumping and lungs working, that bullet's on the move. I'd give him another half a year, tops. But Walkie's operation was already a half a year ago. That's why I'm saying you're out of time. This kid shouldn't be on trial. He should be in an operating table. Great. Just great. Maractus's dilemma. How could Dr. Maractus do such a terrible thing? How could he just leave that bullet in there? I got a pretty good idea of how he felt. He's got his noodle hat back on. An emergency operation. He's got the kid's chest open on the table. Then he finds that bullet. That's despair right there, Trucy doll. Cold despair. Despair? About the only thing you could do is sew that boy back up. He wasn't exactly in the situation to go admitting you could take it out. The Katakis... You bet. This kid's their only son, I hear. So he skips the operation and walks back on the street living his life. Of course, it's only a matter of time before his heart hemorrhages and he drops cold. How awful. And which doctor would they take him to? Maractus. He's got enough ties to them. You could probably cover up the truth of what happened. That's just horrible. He left Walkie to die. There's a darkness in this world, Trucy doll, waiting, hungry. Compared to it, these gangs, turf wars are like kid games. When you're up against real evil, well, it don't matter if you're weak or strong, it'll take you all the same. You were a surgeon, right, Mr. Aldoon? You could operate on Walkie, couldn't you? I wish. What? I'm afraid there ain't nobody in the country that could. Maybe not even in the world. So Walkie... He's real lucky to be alive even now. No! There's one problem. Apollo? This chart, look at the nurse section. Alita Tiala. That's right! This operation is how they met. Yeah, the problem is she knew. Oh. Okay, I get it. I get it. But they'll probably explain it, so... Yeah. She knew about Walkie's condition, guaranteed. Ah! Why didn't she ever tell him? It doesn't make sense. If she knew her patient was in serious danger, you'd think she'd want to get that second operation before getting engaged. What was she thinking? Apollo? What were you thinking, Alita Tiala? Okay, so she wanted to marry into the family. That's pretty much it. And then when Walkie dies, she's still part of the family. That's it. That's literally it. All right, and now we can get to the trial. Yes. Yep, next chapter. This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. Oh, what time did you wake up? 3 a.m. Hi, Pookie. Why are you calling me that, Naoki? That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. I still have no idea where he comes from, where this thing comes from. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Phoenix. Hey, get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow, that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochine pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? That Sherman tank of a mom? Nope, guess again. That's too bad. You know, speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's barely morning and you're at it already, Trucy. Things are going good, Naoki. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Alita Tiala, your client's fiance. She's gonna be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiance? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today. That much is clear. Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there. Gosh. Why does she use her panties as a magic trick? Seriously. Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie-Kataki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is warmed up in its sold-out house. Very well. To recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct there, Judge. And today I would like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed. His betrothed. His fiancée, Judge. His fiancée for his partner for life with no chance for parole. Very well, you may show the lucky lady to the stand. Your name and occupation, Fraulein. Alita Tiala. My occupation is future wife. Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded underwater. What? That's misogynistic and weird. Hold on, I need to take off my jacket. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, you're here today as a witness for the prosecution. To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth. Honesty, another admirable trait. Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Walkie-Kataki, confessed to his plans? His plans for murder? Yes. The witness will please give her testimony to the court. Okay. Walkie's plan. It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Walkie found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Walkie could have done it. So the pistol did belong to the Kataki family. Fraulein? Yeah, I knew that much. And heir means Mr. Or Herr, or I don't know how to pronounce that one. I think it's heir. Like, I don't know for certain. So the pistol did belong to the Kataki family then. Yes, with regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kataki mansion on charges of the possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven. How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Rifling marks? Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, left on every bullet it fires. Hair? Okay. Okay, it's hair. Alright. And when did you first hear about Walkie's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Okay. Walkie's plan. It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. Then Walkie found out that Dr. Maractus had lied. He flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols, and you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone else but Walkie could have done it. How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Walkie, was it, who took the pistol from the home. You don't even know the name of the defendant, Clavier? Oh my gosh. I don't know how to pronounce that either. I'm guessing it's clavier. Or clavier, I mean. I know it means piano in German. We know this for a fact now. I suppose we do. So, how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah? That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used a pistol? Hold on. I feel like Alita did it. So, based on your testimony, there was clearly one other person that had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was. Well, of course, I mean you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this... It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness Tiala and the victim. That looks like a medical chart? Found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart? Ooh, she's sweating. She's sweating. Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? Oh, I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Her warm little fiancé just froze over. I was on staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was so boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim. And I don't. Now. Now? I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right? That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past flaws and all, no matter... There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in a court of law. Oh, thank you for the head pats. Doesn't fly. She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Katakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true. But you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic. I don't know if it's this one or this one. I think it's this one. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Well, who knows? I'm sure there are lots of people with those sandals. So sorry, Fraulein, your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Walkie back on the straight and narrow. This court thinks you need worry less about Walkie and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder. Well, there's little point in denying it. Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day? Okay, this is gonna be a bunch of lies, but let's see. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him after all. I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor was always a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. By mistake, you mean the mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation? He was a timid small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know? That does make sense. Yes, but there's still one thing which does not. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Why is Prosecutor Gavin being on our side? It's weird. I'm not used to this in Ace Attorney games. The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. I would have worn those sandals home too. So why were the sandals left behind? He pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals which you wore home by mistake. Oh. He's helping her out now. Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Yeah, forehead? Oh, what the? No fair! He's filling the holes in her testimony. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. I'm pretty sure our bracelet's gonna react on the dark secret. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him after all. I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to... Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. But then you'd be betraying Walkie, wouldn't you? No, I did it for him. For us. She went to warn him so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah? I didn't want them to take my Walkie away. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. Okay, I thought my bracelet would react. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time. Okay, that's not important. I went to warn him. I knew Walkie had the pistol. Zion! Hi! My fellow sea slug friend! Hello! Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you for raiding! Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. Sorry about that. Yes! The slug friend! Slug! Sluggy! Little Deuce, thank you for the follow. Yes! Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid! Oh my gosh. Oh. Sorry, I'm distracted now. Hello everyone. I am Nimue Shinkai, and I am a Sea Bunny VTuber. My species of slug, I have a specific one, is Jaruna parva. Yes, Jaruna parva. Sorry, I forgot my own species for a minute. I am a variety streamer, but recently I've been obsessed with this game. Yeah. But again, thank you for the raid, Zion. Yeah. I saw you say you were playing Luigi's Mansion earlier. How did that go? Again, I'm sorry for the delay. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Oh, you screamed your head off? Okay, okay. Gotcha. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Rest your voice. If you screamed your head off, you'll probably need it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I should probably get back to the game. Oh yeah, definitely Zion. Oh yeah, you're in Zayton's server. You can find me there. Oh, and the Sluggy server. Yes. Okay. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. The doctor was always a timid man. Too timid to admit his own mistake. Okay, you knew Waki had the pistol. Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away? Well, after I failed to stop Waki, I thought that was the only other way I could avoid the problem. Couldn't you have called? Why go in person? I called several times that evening, but no one was in. The victim was busy driving home until after 9 p.m. that night, remember? This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah? I thought if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing that doctor... The doctor was always a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. You mean the act of malpractice on Waki, correct? Oh, Johnny, thank you for the hydrate and stretch. Stretch. Okay. Yeah, malpractice. Palmaractus. Get it? Malpractice. Palmaractus. If he had just told Waki the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened. True, that operation was the start of this whole affair. Oh, of course, if he'd told him, he might have been erased by the Kitakis much earlier. A disturbing thought. We know that the Maractus clinic had ties to the Kitaki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police, even if he wanted to. That's why I knew I had to warn him. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. No dark secrets, eh? What? Look at me. However you want, Mr. Justice, you won't find a thing. She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too. You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend. But then you were oh, I already did this part. No, I did it for him, for us. Okay. What do I contradict? I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Waki had the pistol. Okay. The doctor always was a timid man. Okay. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. Okay, let's save. I don't want to mistake this. I'm not losing any health. Present. Not hiding any dark secrets. Hold on. Okay. Okay, you're not hiding any dark secrets. This? Oh, I was right! This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office. Yes? Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? Ooh, she's sweating. Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure in making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad hair doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation. Interesting. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. The bracelet! We're gonna go red-eyed and find her, quirk. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tighten just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday. Like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do we do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo. With your eyes and your senses. And it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony. Okay, why would I go to the clinic now for a half-year-old chart? Why would I go to the clinic? Oh! Here again, I saw it. Gotcha! Oh god, this is so creepy. Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? Yeah, Sluggy Raid! I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure. I saw it. Now. That's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Huh? Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Sorry if that was loud. I meant to press D, not R. Ribbit. I mean, I can't lose this now. Come on, Toe Brain, one more try. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present. Okay, I'm gonna save. Pleasant threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Eh? Which means something had happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. Chart became a threat to you now because of this. Okay. We're not pressing R. Not sure. Let's find the details. Okay. Metallic object found near heart. Checkup report. This? Oh, I was right. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month is our first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively besides yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Waki's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back, well, to haunt you. Oh, freak out. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? To perjury. I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from hair forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic, but her connection was deep indeed, a bit too deep. If the Katakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala? You guessed it. Order! Order! I did it! I broke her testimony! Amazing, Apollo! I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait. Miss Tiala? It's true, that chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about walking and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. This is clear, yet... It is not clear what this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. Ugh, I was so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning? Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky, even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn Ikitaki was after them? Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday night here in this courtroom. Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus's office that day, huh? But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. We can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year. I went to warn him. Doctor was always a timid man. Why would I go to the clinic now for a half-year-old chart? Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. Present. I'm gonna lose health on this. I know I am. Yeah, I got it wrong. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. Okay, I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Okay, fortunately I will have to penalize you, Mr. Justice. Okay. Ugh, I must be on the wrong track. Okay. Okay, let's save. Don't want to lose any more health. Nothing happened at all. I warned him to that clinic just to warn him. Okay, do you know why she went? Figured that out. Okay. For a half-year-old chart. Okay. Huh. Oh, this! I'm dumb. You said nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this. Oh, what's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. Wow. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? I guess the police didn't check that far. But there's a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? Ooh. The pistol was taken from the Kitaki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in the office on that day of the murder. Not bad, her forehead. Hair forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. Okay. 30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Ooh. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position. The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in the office that day, and at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained this top-secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Ooh. Ooh. Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What? That reminds me. Apparently, the Kitakis have been inserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will. Nefarious! So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune. Oh, Waki. You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too, there in that park. Well, Waki, just cool down a second, would you? You keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll... Miss Tiala? I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Waki. Wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby. The signature on the chart and the engagement. I mean, come on, it's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita? Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So, the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right, I wanted the money. No, wait, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me. Accuse. Of what crime, may I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I've already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but... What are you talking about? Trucy. You had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol now, did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You'd think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is it was me. I shot him. That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly, the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then... Wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh. You see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. He's right. Miss Tiala.
Yes?
It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Perhaps it would be time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of that crime.
Okay. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later.
What?
In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park in the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not.
You went back later.
That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day.
But you couldn't get the chart then, could you?
And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place.
Ah, that was you?
Apollo! That sound! It came from behind the store!
Someone's in there. A break-in! They left through that window. So you were the burglar.
That was you two? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What? That's trespassing and brazen at that.
Oh, is that a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Okay, then. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. Okay. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. Later.
When I heard about what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
But then why did Dr. Maractus keep the chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you?
Okay. Oh, thank you for the lurk. In any case, I didn't shoot him. Proof I stole the pistol. And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. I feel like this one. I'm gonna save, though. Okay. Present. I don't think it matters. If shot in the temples or not. Okay. That brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? Okay. You went back to the clinic later. Okay, in any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? But you could have stolen it.
Could have? Is that some new definition of proof?
We'll ask Waki. He'll tell us. Might I remind you that this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he?
And that brat was spotted in the park the moment of the crime. Okay. Frankly, I don't think it matters. Well, it does matter.
The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes.
So it seems.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing there. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shot it from this location, the bullet couldn't hit his right temple.
Silly, silly attorney.
What?
Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trissy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken.
His location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, our forehead? Show you? What? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, Panties Guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Walkie Kataki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark. And of course, Pal Maractus was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when he shot the victim? Someplace else. I think it was in the cart. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point, but I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location.
What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Sal, hi! You should probably go to my YouTube because this one is delayed. Hold on. Okay. It's delayed on Twitch anyway.
Apparently Mr. Justice does. Hold on. Trying to scroll down. Better most of the time.
Okay.
Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? It's time to raise the roof and the stakes. Eh? Oh, I'm saving. I know what he's doing. Hold on. Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Oh my god, dude. Like so. Oh, we get 2 off. Double penalty. Hair Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time.
Are you sure, Apollo?
The key is to witness Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. Inside here. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala.
What do you mean?
Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the 2 men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. Oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, towards the noodle stand. Order, order, order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the car behind him.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us the evidence that proves someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone is in the stand? Well, I've got it. I've got it right here. I don't know, but hold on, I'm saving. Okay, let's see what you got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. Oh, this. The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Ah. Oh, and Miss Tiala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof that you were inside that noodle stand. Yeah! I don't want to scream. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. The pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Apollo, I think I might be onto something.
Yeah, there were all the bowls inside that clinic.
I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make the room in the stand, some things would have to be
taken out. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand? I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. Let's see if there's anything else first. Okay. I was right, okay. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's Noodles noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic. Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop!
I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than a spoiled brat's pickup lines.
I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling the stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. Tiala's explanation.
That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kataki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him.
You knew about the botched operation. So you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself.
I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brat got his health checkup report. And that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth or it's over. Okay. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I already know where she's lying, I think. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Katakis had sent me, so I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Perceive. Which hand has her... Hold on. Here again.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. All I did was talk and lie.
What? Show me proof.
I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words.
My twitch? What are you talking about?
You have the habit of scratching the area of your neck or on the edge of your scarf.
What? What?
This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies, 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth.
Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth.
It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Oh. I have an idea of what happened. It seemed that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide beneath your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened.
What's that?
You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state.
Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me.
Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. She was choked by the cord, I think. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. Yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting. As soon as the witness removes her scarf.
I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing.
Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven.
What?
You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf.
No! No!
I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Yeah, she was choked. Your neck, that isn't what... Your neck, that isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it. But wait! Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Nice. We got her, boys. And girls. And everyone in between. Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened?
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus.
That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What?
I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company. You. And what happened next?
He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Hal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. I'm Mihu. Thank you for the follow.
So you were the victim. And the red splotch on this cord was your lipstick.
I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand. But how could I? Ah!
That face. Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for the events that day, true. Yet if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly, everyone's sympathizing with her.
I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala?
Very well. This finishes the cross-examine of this... He's so goofy. Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin. Pal Maractus choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next?
He's right. There's more we don't know.
But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while.
Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand?
Alita Tiala, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand.
What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night.
Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet.
You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin.
Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Waki saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So, he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine.
And Miss Tiala heard about this from Waki. So she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature.
But then, something happened.
Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold.
But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala. Perhaps he thought to death. What did he do after this crime?
I was just knocked out, not dead.
From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Exactly. Well, Air Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did what he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? Okay. Oh, I got it wrong. Oh, wait, no, I did. I did get it right. As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Aldun's noodle stand.
What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So he randomly stole a noodle stand?
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside the stand? I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy?
Trucy. Trucy. You're smarter than this. Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Ah, wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala.
My corpse?
Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
And it was found near the river, so he was probably intending to throw her into the river. Ooh, that makes so much sense. Then let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki-Kataki? I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with?
That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination.
What?
Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. Where exactly was the victim dragging the stand? Here, the river. There, that's a river. Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body.
He was going to throw me into that river?
He didn't have many other options, Fraulein. I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then the demonument, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. Wesley Stickler of panty snatching fame walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts in that instant. Ooh, yeah.
So, I shot him?
You were the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala?
Nice work.
You mean I'm right? Why do you act so surprised, Apollo?
I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's only one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak.
Where of what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out hair forehead's errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car?
That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage.
In which sat a green sports car, was it?
Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car.
Oh, hold on. Let me think. The panties! That sounds really bad, but no, it's literally the panties. The panties were in the exhaust. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And our defense without a case.
I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it would have run. It was broken.
Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong.
Huh?
Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy.
Daddy?
That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car. Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine.
That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car,
Ugh. Yeah, the timeline doesn't match up. A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. Stop making fun of his forehead. No, no! Order, order, order! Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? Is that a groan of surrender I hear? Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the past 2 days. Everything I've learned. Gavin, why are you helping me? Clavier. Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to you what happened that night. The car didn't run. Hold on, I'll save just in case. The car didn't run, it had the thing in the exhaust pipe. And when, and we got this proven to us because Clavier, showed up in his motorcycle and he said he had a clogged pipe. And that makes it so that it can't run. I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Mr. Maractus couldn't use his car. I mean, Dr. Maractus.
Ha! Now you're making even less sense than usual.
Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put one and one together and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence? Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night.
Panties!
Let's see now. Panties! Again!
Panties! All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth.
Another crime was committed the night of the murder. The theft of these panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage.
What?
The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them. Why weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin.
So you were here investigating?
And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe.
Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that.
Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run.
My, how interesting.
While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, the car wouldn't start.
What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of.
Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think.
So it does. Where am I? So dark, can't see.
Hold on.
So dark, so cramped. Can't see, cramped. The pain, my throat's burning.
What's your problem? You, Doc, I know what you did.
Waki?
You lied to me, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. No! He'll ruin everything! I have to stop him! Seize us at once, you two! She admitted it.
Funny, this isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad.
There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand?
In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running.
I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police.
Which is when I made my escape.
Which is when you left that slipper print.
Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though.
That was your mistake.
No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice.
Huh?
I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Waki declared guilty, it was you.
Wow. I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest right now.
Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost.
I think he already knew. He figured out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. You lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, Hair Forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty. Confetti! Court is adjourned.
Great job, Apollo! You did it!
Yeah, we did. Somehow.
Waki's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank.
Hey, attorney man! You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes.
Or to blame, I guess.
You get my Alita back. Stupid pointy-head attorney with a death wish. Enough, Waki. Ah, Mr. Kataki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Waki. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about what you don't understand, Waki.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out.
If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending?
Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kataki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Waki.
Oh.
Waki! Apollo has something to tell you.
Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. What's that?
Show him the reason why, Apollo.
Why is Mr. Kataki trying to become a businessman? Think about it, Waki. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? He looks so different when he's not making scowls. I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Walkie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Those were his eyebrows? Oh my god. Please understand, Walkie. Dad. Man, I see how it is, old man. Always looking out for...
Walkie?
Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You'll try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
My Walkie!
No, it is as it should be. Mr. Kataki. I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who, me? I didn't think... Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kataki lime pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. And he was gone.
Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency.
Hey, since when do I work at your agency?
Aw, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going.
Huh? Why not? She did help me out. And there's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become.
Oh, that's right, we have to go someplace first.
Huh? Where?
Why, to claim a reward from Mr. Aldoon.
Salty noodles. Right. You got to stand back already.
Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat.
Oh, it's special, all right. Please, anything but him.
And we finished the chapter.
Yeah, got an achievement. Turnabout Serenade is the next one. Okay, let's return to the games menu. I think we're gonna end it here. Oh, there's only 4 cases? Yeah. Okay, let's find someone to raid. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Goodbye, YouTube.